Welcome to the New Mindset Podcast. This is Jacob.
And Georgia.
And today we will be discussing the question, what adults can learn from kids?
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Get into it.
You keen?
Yeah, I'm keen.
Get into it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, first off, how are you going?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm a little tired. Big weekend.
You're not allowed to say good. That's your rule.
I know, true. Okay. I'm feeling really excited to talk about, well, I just love talking about kids.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like I have my own, but I don't. I just have many classes of kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to talk about kids.
Yeah. Awesome. And what they can bring to our lives.
Yeah.
As adults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you though? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a little tired.
Yeah.
We're shooting this a little bit later than usual.
Yes.
I finally executed on my 5 a.m. wake up this morning, so my brain's a little out of it and my rhythm's a little out of it, but we'll pull through. I am keen to talk about this, though, because this is something that you're really, this is your expertise.
Expertise, jeez.
No pressure. This is your thing.
Yeah, I know.
No, but I'm really keen. We normally have chats like this. It's just now it's recorded.
I know.
Got a few questions, got a checkout question, got some fancy music.
Yeah, stop it. Yeah. It's just like an elevated live chat.
Elevated live chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have those live chats each Sunday.
Yeah. We just chat about life.
For 2 hours, 2-3 hours.
2 or 3 hours. Make sure we're on the same page.
There is a study where, couples, whether you're married or not, should chat for at least 3 hours a week on admin, like life admin.
Is it actually 3 hours?
Yeah, 3 hours.
Is that what the study said?
Well, a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You just keep going with life.
Yeah. But I found it pretty useful.
I do too.
Even though we're a little bit younger, we chat about, what do we chat about? Finances. We chat about just life admin, cleaning.
Well, house admin, what kind of jobs need to be done, what kind of things we're saving for. Because, we're kind of at the start of our, what do we want to invest in terms of saving up funds? I don't know.
Saving up the money.
Saving up the money. Yeah. But also, we make sure that we plan, now that we've got our little puppy, make sure that we have, some kind of date night. Sounds like we legitimately have children.
One date night a week.
One fur baby.
He's a lot, though. He's a miniature schnauzer.
Yeah.
Quite a lot for a little Winston.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, cool. So, a little bit off track there.
Yeah, sorry.
Cool. So, back to the question. So, why did you pick this subject? What was it about this subject that you wanted to cover tonight?
I think it's because being surrounded by kids so often every week, I'm in a classroom of kids at least 3 or 4 times a week, teaching often 2 classes per evening. So I'm immersed amongst children a lot of the time. And I think earlier in a few of the other episodes that we chatted, we were speaking about what is it that we as mentors or teachers or parents or, older people, what we can give to kids. But I think it's important for us to be mindful of flipping the switch and seeing what it is that our kids can teach us. And not only that, it kind of I learn lessons from my kids all the time. In the classroom. So I thought that it was, just a nice topic to kind of touch on.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I think taking the ego away, I suppose, we as, adults and counselors, psychologists, teachers, mentors, we want to be the ones that can provide lessons for the children around us.
Mm.
But I think that as true as that is, we can take a lot from them.
Yeah.
Which I'm excited to get into.
Yeah.
So without further ado, what's the first learning? Because you've your teaching has been really picking up lately. So
yeah,
you've been around them nearly every night. So what's the most pressing learning?
I think the one that kind of brought this topic out was one where there were 2. It was a class of younger kids. It was a class of about 7 to 10-year-olds, and there's about 11 of them in the one room. So, and it's a drama classroom, we're all creating characters, so there's lots of big personalities. And one of the big important things that we talk about in drama is bringing your energy, making sure that you've got enough energy for the classroom.
Now, as someone that doesn't come from a drama background, what does energy mean?
What does energy mean?
Is that enthusiasm? Is that what is it?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably, yeah, that enthusiasm, that vibrancy, that feeling of, okay, I'm ready to go, whatever that feels like for you. But 9 times out of 10 is that kind of enthusiasm.
Attitude, standards, I suppose.
What do you mean attitude?
Like you've got to bring the right attitude into a classroom, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that that's different to energy. Energy is more the
Do you think
that you're
adrenaline,
bringing.
like adrenaline, is
Yeah,
that somewhat?
yeah, that's like ballpark. You probably talk about adrenaline with like sport.
Yeah. I feel like theatre, you would need adrenaline to
You'd
get
get a
out
bit of
there and
adrenaline. Yeah, true.
get that adrenaline. Well, you've been missing that a little bit. Adrenaline hits
Yeah,
from
yeah,
drama.
yeah, no,
Sorry, I
true.
cut you off, but yeah, I just wanted to understand what energy was.
No, that's good. That's good. So yeah, in the drama classroom, we always talk about bringing that sense of energy. Um, and 9 times out of 10 in the drama classroom, the way to bring that energy is through fast-paced games. Now, there's one little boy that I've picked up who is a little, it's a bit more difficult for him to comprehend some of the games that we're playing. So I need to speak a bit slower, maybe be a little bit quieter, as to not, I guess, make him feel so uncomfortable or alerted. And so he lost in this round of a game that we were playing. And I was like, oh, sitting down or something.
So you were playing a game and he lost
He
that
lost a
round?
round. Yeah. And in drama, we try to encourage, just like you would in sport. It's like, oh, well, you win some, you lose some. You got to learn to be a gracious loser. So I was just, oh, okay, sitting down now. And one of the other boys came to his defense and said, oh, he just needed a little bit longer. He would have got there. And I thought, oh, okay, okay, we'll give him another shot. And the thing that I learned from that second boy was just having a little bit more patience and a bit more kindness towards others.
Yeah.
Normally, and it was just a little bit of, I caught myself, normally us as the older people are teaching kids those lessons, but there are those glimmering moments where kids already have those lessons innately within themselves. And it's just reflected back to us of, oh, okay, yeah, I can be a bit more patient. I can be a bit more kind towards others.
Yeah, that's just pure kindness.
Yeah. Yeah, in its purest form. And
Yeah.
then next week that kid might turn around and be pain in the butt, but in that moment he was really patient, really kind.
Well, he's shown that for one child, and hopefully it's a flow-on effect from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the way I could relate that to any parents out there or any kids out there that play sport is that sportsmanship. So that's just some sportsmanship inside the classroom, which is awesome to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see that quite often, or was that a standalone?
I guess every room is different. Every group of kids is different, every classroom. Like last year, the same age group, we had a big talking to about kindness and about connection.
Yeah.
And that's something that they struggled with. But now this room with a new dynamic of people has brought about a much more compassionate, kind atmosphere in the classroom.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe another little glimmer in there is talking about how you don't have to, I don't know, be unkind. You can be that change in that room to help other people feel more comfortable. That's
Yeah.
what that one little boy did. He was the common denominator between the two classes, and he saw what it was like to be unkind, and now he's bringing that softness, that kindness, that compassion to another, and has just made everyone in the classroom feel so much more connected and supported.
Yeah.
And he was like 8 years old. Like,
8.
I reckon that's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
I think that it's really weird because, well, it's not weird, but it's interesting that I feel as though when we grow a bit older, into 13, 16, when you're into your 20s and up, we have those feelings, we have those thoughts internally, like we empathize with other people, but we don't always vocalize it, I feel.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that comes from a fear of judgment, a fear of rejection potentially. And I say that from the perspective of, say, if you needed help and I came up to you, I could feel anxious about that. So I love that this kid just did it. He went and did it and just vocalized it. He thought it and vocalized it.
Yeah.
He didn't. I think a lot of us, and maybe you said there was 11 kids in there.
Yeah.
Maybe the other 9 kids were feeling the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But that boy said it.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
No, yeah. It was a really nice reflection to see that back.
Did he have to be taught that, do you think? Or is that just his instinct? Or you did mention that you had a lesson last year, I believe, on ethics and attitude and values and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't use those words for 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, same kind of thing. Like there was just a lot of finger pointing, blaming. She did this, he did that, speaking very, sternly, probably you could put that in the category of being unkind, being rude, being a bit nasty, a bit bratty. That was the kind of behavior in the classroom.
Yeah.
And then I took a bit of a talking to, we shifted away from the drama learning for that day, and we're like, okay, we're all human beings. We're all here for a reason. We're all trying to have fun. Why don't we all be kind to one another? So I hope that lesson helped him, and perhaps him just growing older as well became a little bit more mature and a bit sweeter as a person to be able to extend that hand of compassion to another. And I think too, speaking up is something that he learnt as well. Like what you were saying, the other people in the room may have been feeling the exact same way, but it takes one person to speak up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that you taught him something, he implemented it.
Yeah.
And then you learned the lesson from seeing him implement it.
It's like a full circle.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Are you happy with that? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
No, awesome.
Go me.
Cool. So that was all about patience.
Yeah.
That's cool. Give me another one. Give me another learning, because your teaching's really picked up of recent. So I'm really keen to hear all these learnings.
Yeah, I think another that maybe is not directly related to a child, but more so just what we can pick up from kids as mature people. I know that we're not the most mature, we're still in our 20s. But at our age, we can learn the fact that confidence is something that can be learnt and it can be taught, and it's not something that's just someone's born with it. You've just got natural born confidence. Of course, there's going to be people that are a little bit more extroverted or charismatic than another person. What's the word that's going around? It's like if you have enough riz or something. It's like, yeah.
Oh.
I had to.
You're probably 2 months late on that too.
Goddamn, really?
I don't know.
Oh.
I've never heard of riz.
Really?
No.
It was like all the charisma.
I'm too old now.
If you got who's got more riz? I think that was like a thing.
It took me 2 years to figure out what YOLO meant at the time.
Stop now. Stop while you're ahead. What was it?
But you were talking about perspective and confidence.
Yeah. So it's what we can take away as older people.
Yeah.
Is the fact that it's a skill that is going to take effort, it's going to take energy, it's going to take attention to try and build that confidence within ourselves, but it's something that we can still do. You're not too far gone. Like seeing these kids develop from, a lesson where I first saw them in, one little girl that I saw for the very first time was not last year, but year before. End of the year, she only had a few lines in this particular play, and now I see that she's spoken to her new teacher to say, oh, is there any more availability? Are there any more lines? Like, I'd love to keep going, keep growing, keep learning. And that to me is just showing the development of her confidence over time.
Yeah.
Wanting to step up and speak up more, have more character lines. So I think understanding that you can still develop that confidence at any age, it's important for kids, but seeing them be so open about their progression in their confidence, I think that's nice to be reflected back to adults to say, hey, you can learn this too. It's not too late, or it's not something that you're just born with.
Yeah, that's quite motivating. That's
Yeah.
awesome because, well, we on this podcast we want to specialize in children's confidence, kids' confidence, anxiety, and I think I think I've been taking away and learning from our chat and even just some research that to overcome anxiety, confidence is a big thing.
Mm.
And I think you just said that student of yours had a few lines one year, and then the next year they wanted to increase it. So they would have been nervous in that
Yeah.
first year, but through confidence, they've been able to overcome that barrier, which is
That's so
awesome.
true.
And
Yeah.
I can relate to that as well at sport. When I was a little younger, I was that nervous and anxious that I was nearly physically sick every match. But through training and repetition, I was very confident in that skill, and that anxiety sort of dwindled away, which was really cool to see. So you're definitely right. It just takes just constant exposure and practice.
More action. Because I
Yeah.
saw something the other day actually that was talking about how a lot of us wait until we feel confident to do the thing, but it's actually doing the actions that build our confidence that help us feel more confident to keep doing the thing. So taking those incremental steps and, like you said, exposure, and for drama it would be, taking acting and being able to act, would be that first step to be able to develop that confidence rather than going into something being, oh, I'm never going to be confident. I don't have confidence. I'm never going to get there. Why bother? I think that taking that action is the most important part.
Yeah. Yeah. The learning, I remember listening to, I think it was a podcast, the learning is in where we are avoiding. So if you're avoiding, if you're avoiding the circumstance, then you're never going to reach that goal of
That
confidence.
goal that you have.
Yeah.
I guess I could go for like public speaking too. If you're so dead afraid of public speaking, getting up and speaking in front of 5 people, then 10 people, then 20,
Yeah.
then 50.
Even the phrase public speaking scares me.
The what? The thought of it.
Yeah. Like, well, like I said, exposure to it.
Yeah.
So for me personally, when I think of it, if I was to run up a quick mock exposure therapy,
Yeah.
I suppose that I would have to be very detailed in my notes for public speaking. So I
Yeah.
would need to feel very confident in what I'm saying. I'd then need to practice it on my own. I would probably then practice it in front of you. I would record myself reading it. And then I'll 1, 2 to 3. So I remember at school, the word just, every year, every semester, there was at least one class that we needed to speak in front of everyone. And I was anxious like 6 weeks out, 8 weeks out from that speech. So I was exhausted by the time I got to it. And it was just, let's just get this over and done with.
Yeah.
And we're getting married in how long? What, 4 months, 5 months?
5 months.
5 months. And the thought of making a speech now, it's all right at the moment, but I know that 50 days out, 40 days out, 30 days out, it's going to start peaking. So I'm going to have to.
So then, what would you do, Jacob, to increase your confidence?
Why in that voice?
I don't know. That was just my teaching voice.
Okay.
That's my 7-year-old's teaching voice.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've got to start writing a speech now.
Yeah.
I've got to start reading it. I can't read it to you.
No.
So I'm going to have to, I'll get my best man. Or I could read it to mum, get mum to read it over. And then, just practice it and hope for the best.
Done. Yeah.
Everyone's got to go through it.
Yeah.
That's the thing that helps me actually, just quickly while we're on this, with anxiety. If I'm very anxious about something, like I had my wisdom teeth out recently and I was so petrified of having the operation done.
Yeah.
But I was able to somewhat rationalize it by the thought of how many people have an operation per day, per year.
Yeah.
So how many people get married and have to make a speech? Everyone that gets married has to make the speech.
Yeah.
So I'm no different and I'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. So normalizing it.
Yeah. Rationalizing it. Yeah. It's anxiety and nerves want to make it this big, scary thing. And it somewhat is scary, but it's not like it is in my head. For me, it's like this big, scary monster, but it's like everyone beats a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting because I'm just thinking about how I can relate that to drama and theater, just in the context of like kids potentially feeling a bit anxious about the play that we have coming up.
Yes.
And you kind of can't tell them, yep, everyone goes through this, because not everyone gets up on stage. Like, you know, their parents, for example, may not be the confident, extroverted performers. Like, they're the ones that are sending their child there so that they can develop the confidence that the parent didn't have.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I can ponder that a little bit and see how the kids can not feel so terrified.
Is every child different?
Everyone's different and they all feel safe in a different way. So I guess it's knowing, okay, is it you knowing what you're wearing on the day and feeling comfortable? That's the thing that's okay, that's what I need to feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Is it knowing that you're not alone in terms of the people that are on your stage with you, you know, your castmates, knowing who they are, where they are? Is that what's going to keep you safe and feeling confident and happy?
Yeah.
Or is it knowing that you've done amazing and whatever you do from here, everyone's going to be super happy and proud of you, you know? That's as well like a big thumbs up.
I suppose that's what makes a good teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's when I think, yeah, from a sport perspective, the best coaches are the best man managers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they can, you know, they know how to get each person ticking and each person working toward their goal.
So true.
Yeah. I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think
11 kids at that age plus all the other classes makes it very challenging.
Yeah. So I've got 3 of those classes of the 7 to 10-year-olds.
So we've got about 30 kids all up.
Yeah.
Around that
more
mark.
or less.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
It's even tough for the extroverted kids. I know you're mentioning the introverts there. The extroverts have different pressures too, like wanting, I suppose from your perspective, from my perspective, you're an extroverted person.
Yeah.
Your pressures are different to mine. Your pressures are needing and wanting to succeed.
Yeah.
Mine are just wanting to get through the task.
Yeah.
So with like school, for instance, a presentation, your pressures are, I want to do really well so I can be proud of myself and show my family my results.
Yeah.
My pressure was, all right, let's not pass out here.
Yeah.
Which is, they're equally as terrifying.
It's challenging, yeah.
So,
yeah,
but
for the different person.
Yeah, but trying to understand that pressure, the pressure that your child goes through, and even yourself, like that's what I've been saying, building that relationship with yourself. Yeah. To
that internal relationship.
Yeah, and you can sort of, if you understand why you're stressed or why you're anxious, then that goes a long way. And yeah, you can only get that through communication and building that relationship with yourself.
And just think too how much more confident you would be knowing more about yourself.
It's so weird that we don't.
Like that we don't do that. I literally was listening to, God, I love podcasts. I was listening to the Fabulaso Diary of a CEO, Mo Gaudat, I think. Just butchered his last name. But I listened to this new episode and it was just talking about how the key to feeling so much better within ourselves and feeling a lot more content and confident in our skin is sitting with those emotions, but we just don't do it. We don't allow ourselves to sit with the discomfort, to understand where it's coming from, to know how to deal with it. We just don't do that. And I know that I struggle with that too. It's terrible. Yeah.
But I think
you're very good at that though, because you've just, I don't know, you've modeled for me how to sit with the uncomfortable feelings.
Yeah, well, I suppose, you just cannot sweep things under the rug.
Yeah, because if you do, then it just, what's the saying that you say? Like it just gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah, well, say if you and I have a simple issue at home.
We have a tiff.
Let's say, you haven't done the dishes, I haven't done the dishes.
Hey, it's you that doesn't do them.
Yeah, it's me. So say if I haven't done the dishes and you sweep it under the rug and you don't say anything.
Yeah, okay.
You're going to grow to resent that down the track. And the longer we don't talk about it, the bigger issue it's going to become when we do talk about it.
Yeah, and then it becomes
And that's just doing the dishes.
Yeah. let
Yeah.
alone all the other
But I
stuff.
think for a helpful practice is if someone doesn't want to sit with their emotions, or if someone does want to sit with their emotions and they want to start practicing this,
Mm,
like meditation gets spoken about so much, but that's not sitting with your emotions.
mm,
Sitting with your emotions is having that conversation internally with
mm.
yourself. And I think if you're in a tough place and you're avoiding it, honestly, go and sit on your bed and just close everything, lights off, and just think.
Mm,
And you'll be very surprised at how far you can go.
yeah.
Yeah.
That like but for me, like just to relate that to me, I
Yeah.
can be very quick to go, on the move, kind of my head is racing in terms of I don't know, and I know that you say that your head is as well, like with your thoughts, with
Yeah.
your anxiety races.
Yeah.
My head races too. So if I was to sit on my bed and just think about the thing that is terrifying me,
Yep.
I would just spiral.
Yeah. Yep. You
So
need,
how do
yeah.
I not?
Well, when that happens, do you continue trying?
No.
Or do you, what you can do, it's honestly, if you've never done it before and you can only last 30 seconds doing it, well, that's your 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But do it again tomorrow night
Yeah.
and do it again the next night. It's just like exercising, just exercising that muscle.
Yeah, so true.
I think I've caught myself, and I know a lot of people do, just with podcasts and streaming and music. We often avoid even wanting to have that internal
Yeah.
dialogue with our self-conscious,
Yeah.
without
Subconscious.
subconscious, sorry, self-conscious, subconscious. Yeah, we even avoid having that with ourselves through
Mm,
having headphones in and listening to someone else speak
mm.
because it's easier to listen to someone else rather than yourself.
Listen to yourself.
Yeah,
Well, that's disassociating from the feelings that you're feeling.
yeah.
That's what my therapist is telling me.
Oh, that's very
I
good.
know.
But yeah, like just continue building that relationship like you're a person.
Yeah.
Just
Well, you're the only person that you're going to be with 24/7 for the rest of your life,
yeah,
for your whole entire life. Like, how do you not want to understand understand yourself? You know, I know that it's terrifying, but it's almost like that's what needs to happen for you to be able to live a fulfilling life and to be more confident. You need to take that little action one at a time so that you feel confident in the skin that you're in.
ooh.
Ooh.
But I suppose, yeah, I think how do we teach that though? In younger kids, they get, and I'm not against it. I'm not one of those people that say TVs are terrible and iPads are disgusting, all in moderation. But
Yes.
but yeah, I suppose if there was an equal balance of just alone time for a child, playing on their own. I
Mm.
know there's disadvantages for single children in a household, with no siblings.
Mm.
But there's also advantages to that. Yeah, where you become very independent and able to. You're much more self-aware.
Mm.
So I think as a parent, being able to have that structure for your child and not just give them the iPad or give them the
Yeah.
headphones.
Give them that boredom time to be able to sit with, oh, okay, how can I occupy myself here in terms of not being distracted, but like, oh, let's get a bit creative here. What kind of games can I play with what I have in my surroundings?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know. And then you
definitely.
get to understand how you work as a person individually.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's. I think I was able to sort of elevate that for myself through having anxiety and through seeing a psychologist when I was quite young.
Mm.
So she was able to give me those skills,
Mm.
and it's just been able to translate into adulthood, which is really exciting.
Yeah.
Like it was very useful, difficult to implement, but yeah, if you can do that for your children, then you'll see. Yeah, they'll have massive advantages in future, and I want all kids to have that sort of
Yeah.
ability.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, so that was awesome. So I suppose I would ask, as a kid's confidence coach, what's the biggest lesson? That a child has taught you over, not just recently, but over a period of time. You've been doing it for what, 10 years or so?
Yeah, roundabout. Oh, that's a long time to have seen many a children. Um, uh, a big lesson that the kids have taught me.
Yeah.
I think it would be not, no, I don't want to phrase it as a negative. Having the ability to be able to share ideas openly with a group of people that you don't know if they're going to accept them or reject them, but you're all there together with the idea of having fun and creating and laughing and working on this random thing together that we have no idea what it's going to start as or what it's going to end as, but just that sense of innocent creativity, I think, is something that I want to carry through a lot of my teaching,
Yeah.
I think, and coaching and counseling and all the rest of it. But yeah, it would be that sense of innocent creativity and wonder for wanting to create, I think, is just so special.
Yeah.
And that would be the through line between all of the years, is seeing that in kids is just, it's just magical.
Well, that must mean that you've created an environment for that to flourish. So you've created like trust and safety.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So that's something that, yeah, if parents want to see that in their children, then they first got to create a trusting and safe environment for them to be able to implement that for their children. Implement that.
That's so true. Yeah, because when you're, if you put it in a teaching context, it's not like you can say, be more creative or come up with something better. Like, of
Yeah.
course you can say that, but is that going to make the child want to create more? Absolutely not, because they feel as though they can't do it themselves.
Yeah.
But you've got to slowly open up that door for them to be able to, or let them open up the door, but make the, I don't know, the inside, the outside, wherever they're going, more pleasant and exciting and creative and welcoming and warm and kind and non-judgmental, all of that good stuff.
All the analogies.
All the analogies. I love analogy and
Yeah.
and a visual. So that's what I would be. Yeah. Let
Yeah.
them open up the door, but make the space as welcoming and as safe as you can.
Yeah. So sort of build the environment and trust the process.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. That's cool. I like it. What's something that you're trying to implement currently?
What am I
That's,
trying to do right now?
Yeah, that you've sort of taken from, it could even be one child. Like, what's something that, you want to implement in your own life?
I think that I would like to be a little bit more curious, a little bit more open. I think sometimes when we're older, we can be very quick to
Open to what?
open just to connecting,
Mm-hmm.
and sharing, like even if
Well, I'll
even
break it down again. Connecting and sharing what?
ah, um connecting and sharing, I don't know, time and space together.
Can you confirm?
That gives you no
No.
further.
You're very surface level here.
Okay. So I first said that I wanted to be a little bit more curious, and what I meant by that was connection and another C word, creating.
I'm glad that was the C word that you went with.
Hey. We
Yeah.
are a censored place.
Yeah, creating.
Connecting and creating. And what does that mean, Georgia? I'm glad you asked.
That was not me, just FYI.
Yeah, that was my interpretation of you.
Thank you.
Oh, true, because people can't see
Yes.
faces. I did a very accurate interpretation then. Sorry, I'm going off track. Connecting and creating with people. I don't know.
So putting yourself out there a little more?
Yeah. And just being curious to ask questions, being confident and curious enough to just ask people questions. Like, how is your day today? Or like, that's an amazing outfit. Where'd you get that from? Or
Is it the fact that you're not curious, or are you curious and not confident enough to be able to approach?
I think it's probably a combination of both. I think I don't know what type of questions to ask, whereas kids just ask whatever questions.
Which is confidence.
Which is confidence, yeah. It's taking that first step. So yeah, I would want to embody a little bit more curiosity for those people around me, those people that I know and also the people that I don't know.
Yeah.
And in that, being more confident.
Cool.
There we go. We got there.
We got there in the end.
Thank you for your patience.
That's all right. All good. Cool. So what can we bring into our lives? How can we bring more joy into our lives, I'll say?
Joy.
Yeah. How can adults bring more joy? Because we were talking about the fact that children have this childlike, joyful innocence about them.
Yes.
How do we, as adults, implement that?
Well, I think try and do what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Ask more questions, be more curious, be a little bit more creative in your way that you go about things. How do you be more creative, Georgia? I'm glad
Yeah,
you asked.
like we say that. And well, we don't, but a lot of people say it.
Be more creative.
But how do we we want to give learnings and be able to provide people with actual information. How can we do that?
One thing that I saw recently, one of the good things about Instagram is, it shares different ideas with people. One thing that I loved was it was this literal art therapist who just got a book out, got some markers and was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just putting colors on a page. Just being a little bit more creative without a plan, I think would help people develop that sense of creativity and curiosity about themselves of like, I'm just picking up this marker because I can. I'm picking up this pencil and creating this shape and this design because I can, with no kind of judgment around it.
Yeah, well, on that, I think you and I, our last date night was, what was that, a few nights ago?
My God.
That was painting.
Yeah.
I haven't painted since I was like 6.
Oh, okay. Well, mine was probably a little bit later than that. But
yeah, so that's 19, nearly 19 years, 18 years now that I hadn't painted for.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just because I don't like doing it.
Yeah.
But no, but it was cool to, that brought a different type of joy.
Yeah.
And it was something that I was probably really anxious about and nervous about when I was younger. Now, because you and I have created an environment where we can be silly and stupid and fail, I'm fine. But in a different environment, I might have been a little more nervous.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So just trying different things, and I knew it wasn't going to look good.
No.
But it was just fun doing it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole process was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like that. Add a little bit more creativity and just be more curious. Maybe ask some people some random questions.
Yeah. Now you have written down here, I can see on our fancy notes, gamifying life. What does that mean?
Ooh, bring a gaming element to your life.
I haven't caught you off. I haven't surprised you here. You wrote this down.
Yeah, I know, true. I'm trying to remember.
So why did you write it down?
Why did I write down gamifying life? Just making things a little bit more, like, things don't have to be so regimented all the time. You can add a little bit more fun about it. Like, for example, my incredibly bedazzling water bottle.
Which we now have a recording of because we've started recording a bit of the podcast.
Look at it go.
Yeah.
Does it have any type of legitimate purpose? Absolutely not. It just holds water. Does it hold a sufficient amount? Probably not. But does it bring me a whole lot of joy? That to me is like a really easy element of gamifying life. Is just making things a little bit more fun and a little bit more silly, because you can and no one's telling you that you can't. So that's my example of gamifying life.
I like it.
It's a bedazzled water bottle. And does it spark conversation and develop curiosity around other people asking me where I got it and why I like it? Hell yeah, it does. There we go. I'm already doing my second thing of developing more curiosity.
Awesome. Well, there you go.
Stop it. I did 2 things in one.
Cool.
I'm amazing.
Would you like to add anything else to that?
No, I think that would be good.
Being a topic on confidence, and we touch on anxiety and a few other things, I'm sure we'll cover an array of this again in future episodes.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm keen for that. But that was a really good starting point. And I like that we've touched on something that you're trying to implement so we can look at that in future.
Yes, hold me accountable.
Hold you accountable. And even just so we can, if someone's listening and they've sort of resonated with that, they can track how their progress is as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So how would you track that just quickly, how would you track that, what you're trying to implement,
See, that's the thing that I struggle with because I'm trying to develop something to be able to track all the things.
Yeah. That would be a good episode. Like, how can we track the goals that we set?
Can we go through all the things that we've tried and not done? Or like not tried and not done, but tried and failed? That's probably going to be a me thing and you showing your perfectly designed things because you think of them to a T. I think that would be awesome.
That's the OCD though. Yeah, that would be something cool. We could release like a little daily habit tracker that's like actual science based.
That would be very cool.
We'll add to, there's tens of thousands of habit trackers, so we can just be the 10,001.
Oh, yeah. 10,001.
Cool.
We'll call it that.
Yeah, well, I'll let you think about how you're going to track it, because you
Thank
can
you.
think about that over the week.
Yeah.
Next episode, we'll touch on it at the start.
Yes.
Cool. Well, I've really liked it. Cool. Let's get on to our checkout question each week. I'm in charge of this one.
Yep. Hit me.
Now, this is something that I thought about just before we jumped on.
Okay.
I've written down mine because I didn't want to think about it on the spot, but you've got to.
Oh, why?
Okay. So if you could have 3 people at a dinner party, who would they be? They can be alive or dead.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, can you share yours? Or do you want me to share
Oh, no,
mine
I'll share first. So I'll start. You got to give the person and the reasoning.
Jesus. Okay, we'll try.
Cool. So Robin Williams.
Oh, can we have the same people?
No.
You
told me to go first.
Okay. I did give you that.
Okay. So Robin Williams, for obvious reasons, he's just funny as, and obviously from a comedic point of view, but also just a mental point of view. Like, obviously, with what happened to him, I'd love to delve into that and have a conversation about that. Yeah, like that would be so interesting and sad and beautiful and everything in it.
That'd be like all the feelings.
All the feelings all in one hit.
Yeah, wow.
To equal that out, I would have one of the greatest sportsmen ever, Don Bradman.
Okay.
Average 99.94, I believe it was, in cricket.
Yeah, there you go.
Just ask him how.
How did you get that? With the bat that they had too? My God.
Oh, yeah, the bat. His reasoning, his whole philosophy was if you don't hit it in the air, you can't get out. Well, that's one less way of getting out.
If you don't hit it in the air.
Yeah, so if you hit everything along the ground, then you've just taken one avenue of being out of the equation.
That's smart.
That is smart. Hard to do. And my last person, I think that this person may have been on yours, but I'll steal it. John Krasinski.
Oh.
Just because he's just such a cool dude.
Do we get to have dinner together or no?
Hey?
Do we get to have dinner together? Can we share those people?
What, you and I?
Yeah.
No. We're at a different...
That's just your table?
No, and we're getting Indian food too. Yeah. So we're taking the Indian food, Robin Williams, Don Bradman, and John Krasinski.
Okay. That's tough. That's a tough...
George Carrigan, who are you taking?
Follow. Okay, I would have to say...
What restaurant, like what sort of...
What kind of cuisine?
Yeah.
We're going Mediterranean.
Mediterranean, yeah.
I love me some some good seafood, some good Greek food. I love Mediterranean. Let's go my first person.
Yep.
If I was...
Can't change it?
No, I won't change it. If I was an actor, I would want to be one of these 2 people.
That's not the question.
No,
who would
but
you
I
bring?
would... Yeah, I would take these people because I would like to be an actor like these people.
Yep.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
He's phenomenal. Would love to be the female version of him. Love Anne Hathaway.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why people are debating on her.
What was that movie? Was it Devil's Wear Prada?
Yes, we only saw that.
Oh,
Jacob only saw that recently.
That was so good.
It was such a good movie.
Is that classified a chick flick?
Yeah.
But that was so good.
Very good. That Princess Diaries. She was in Dark Knight Rises as Catwoman, Les Mis. She's just an incredible actress. She's beautiful. So I would love to understand her process of getting into all the different characters. And Jim Carrey, how he can just be so freaking funny and maneuver his face in all those different character ways.
Is he a little off the rails, or is he?
Look, people think he is.
Or is that just a character of his?
I don't know. Some people think he's a bit delulu, but...
Well, you'll find out at the dinner.
Yeah, I'll find out at dinner. And then my last, I think I would have to go... Now, this might be a little bit odd. This might be a bit weird because I don't think I've ever shared this person with you, ever. But I think no. Unpopular opinion. I think I would have to go Taylor Swift. Just to understand...
Why is that unpopular?
Oh, well, people might be like, oh, not Taylor. I don't know. But just to understand her business brain behind how she strategizes, and as well, probably her artsy brain of how she can communicate all of those feelings in her beautiful songs.
Yeah.
I think that would be amazing.
She's just had to go and redo a lot of her songs, though.
That's old news.
Is that old news?
That's old
Well, I told
news.
you it took me 2 years to figure out YOLO.
Yeah,
So
true.
I might be 2 years behind this for all I know.
Yeah. You probably are.
But it's caught me, so I'm fine.
Yeah.
I know it.
So there's my people.
So
Jim
who-
Carrey,
yep.
Anne Hathaway, Taylor Swift.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And you're going Mediterranean.
Mediterranean. That's it.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I like
Locked it
it.
in.
You got to get your checkout question ready for next week for me.
I will.
Cool. Well, awesome. That was so cool. Next week we will touch on how to measure our what we're working on and what we're trying to implement. We'll touch on that to start with, so think about that.
Yeah.
And I'll come with one of mine too.
Yeah, you better.
But awesome. Well, thanks so much for listening. Thank you for joining Georgia in our study here. And like I said, we've got a video of it now. So we'll upload those to Insta and what? What do you reckon? Insta and TikTok? Cool. We'll upload little snippets. But awesome. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.